Good morning, everyone. Some of you, just 40 of you, lucky ones, will find one of those yellow stickers beneath your seat. So there should be a tiny triangle looking out. During the session, during this talk, I'm happy to tell you what the project is all about. And at the end, there's going to be a big invitation for you and all the rest of the world out there. So I'll tell you about Project Ingeborg, a project that arrived from a simple question: what can I do with technology? I raised this question today with a friend, at the start of the project today with a friend of mine, Bruno Hautzenberger, who's sitting somewhere over there. We thought to ourselves, what could we do with a phone that's got NFC? You heard about near-field communication. It's a technology, when you touch something NFC-enabled, tiny bits of information will be transferred from the mobile phone to the mobile phone. It could be a tiny text, or it could be a URL, it could be a contact address, etc. And it's a great technology, by the way, developed partly in Austria. And it turned out, once you leave the store, NFC is rather useless. There is these tiny stickers, you probably see them on the back of the card you got, that only makes this thing worthwhile. So, but we didn't think about having a rather useless technology in our pocket, so we went to a pub, and with the help of a couple of beers, which is always a good thing if you want to get creative, with a couple of beers and some playing in the pub, we found a great use case what could be done with NFC. I come from Klagenfurt. Klagenfurt is a town of about 100,000 people. And, by the way, it's the only town in Middle Europe that hasn't got its own community library. So we thought about it for a while, and then we came to the conclusion, yes, we could turn the whole city into a giant virtual library. Just with NFC, and as a fallback, you'll see a QR code. We came to the conclusion it's doable. The idea would be putting some stickers on streetlights and sending them to a mobile website and give ebooks away. So two things came together. I like to tease politicians a little bit, and I love technology, by the way. So yeah, we did it. But boy, did we learn a lot. First thing, it turns out you cannot put just any NFC label on a metal surface. The next thing is copyright's a real bitch. This is the photograph of Ingeborg Bachmann. The name of the project comes from Ingeborg Bachmann. It was taken some 30, 40 years ago when she was still alive. The photographer of this image is dead for a couple of years, and you'll find lots of photographs like this on the net, just with the reference Österreichische Nationalbibliothek, Austrian National Library. No photographer. It took us almost a week to find the name of the photographer, and then we got the permission to use this twice, which is actually impossible because only one person can hold the copyright. At the end, we got it. Second thing is, public space isn't that public at all in Europe. It turns out that even in cities, down in the valley, the mountain police has to check if everything's tidy. So I don't know if you know this, if you got a shop in Austria, you are not allowed to put a sticker outside on your shopping window. So lots and lots of challenges, but at the end, we thought about, we don't care about the mountain police, but everything else was solved out. There was no showstopper, and we could start the project. We called the project Project Ingeborg because we knew that at the time when we should start, we had this idea back in April. We started on July the 2nd. The Bachmann Festival would take place in Klagenfurt, almost guaranteeing us big attention for the project. So you might now ask, what's the project exactly? We had a deal with the local bus company, and we got around 70 bus stops, bars, and locations where we could put on our stickers. Why 70? It was a statement for us. 70 years after the death of an author, a book comes into public domain. One learning we had during the project is that people usually don't know what public domains is all about. The time span, 70 years, was far too much for us, so we wanted to give an input into the current copyright discussion, which actually backfired then afterwards. One of the publishers of a Klagenfurt author wouldn't allow us to promote this author, which is very funny, but yeah. So we started on July 2nd, having 70 locations out in Klagenfurt, and the project really took off. People love to go to the stickers, scanning the QR code, putting their mobile phone, their NFC phone on. After all, it was the first use case someone could do without those tiny stickers in hand with an NFC-enabled phone. So people liked it, and the press even loved it more. And so we got press coverage far beyond our expectations. One person who liked the project a lot translated it into English. We didn't have an English press release. We got covered by Engadget, and once you're covered by Engadget or The Verge, it's basically a global phenomenon because everyone's writing what they're writing. So we had a project out which we thought we would last for 1 month, but then we had another thought. See, if you try the sticker out, you can get on the QR code, you can scan the QR code or touch the NFC phone. You get forwarded to a mobile website where the ebook or the song is just a click away, one more tap away. If we could distribute old books, we could distribute all kinds of digital content. So we had another thought. We could do something more important with our project, with our infrastructure out there in Klagenfurt. And it's all about artist discovery now. So I love Bruce Springsteen, and there's a whole bunch of ways how you can discover Bruce Springsteen or artists similar like Bruce Springsteen. You only have to turn on Spotify radio and say, I want to hear stations who sound like the music I already like. But the bigger problem is discovering artists in your location, artists who are close to you, who are the best authors, the best newcomer authors from your town, who's the most promising band in your place, and that's what we went about. We committed ourselves for 1 more year, for a whole year. We want to introduce 52 artists from Klagenfurt, in Klagenfurt, to people around us. So after this followed another thought, and as I said, I did the project not alone, but with Bruno Hautzenberger. He's a brilliant software engineer, I tell you that. You give him an idea and he makes code into poetry. We had this other thought that what we did in Klagenfurt, introducing local artists to local people, could easily be done everywhere else. There's not a single reason why you shouldn't do this in Vienna. There's not a single reason why people in Sao Paulo, New York, Moscow, Bern, or wherever could do the same thing. So we started putting all the stuff together, all the code base together, and we formed a handy WordPress plugin, which is quite easy to use. You can just install it with 1 more click. It's our gift to you, to the world, and to the artist community. By the way, there is so much else you can do with just the same plugin. You cannot only introduce local artists via NFC tags on a sticker. You can do location-based indoor services using this. You can do time-based services with this. It really is easy to use, and it's got a whole bunch of use cases. If you want to go to pep.pingeb.org, you will find all the documentation, the code to download. It's available on a very liberal actually in the most liberal Creative Commons license, so you can do all things you want to do with the code and you can improve it, you can build whatever you want. The last thought, also when you go on the sticker, you will find Anton Schweinig, a very famous jazz musician from Klagenfurt, or around Klagenfurt actually. He's got a song for us called Little Thought, and we had another bigger thought, which is how I'm coming to the end now. We thought, could we go any further? Yes, we could. There's only one, there's not a single reason that NASA couldn't put stickers on there. There's only one problem, there isn't any local artists on Mars or so. It's our invitation for you. We started in July with 70 stickers on and around Klagenfurt. Now it's 120. We can go further. It could be 70,000 by 1 year. So the technology is out there. You only have to go around town, ask people to put stickers on, ask great artists to get discovered, and that's our gift to you. Thank you very much.